Assalamualaikum and greetings students. So this is going to be your fourth chapter of MKT243. We're going to learn about the first 4Ps, okay, or your first marketing mix, which is a product. So in this chapter, there are 6 things that we're going to learn, and in this first part of the video, I'm going to cover the 4.1 until 4.3, and in the second part later on, you'll be able to see 4.4, 4.5, and also 4.6. So let's get started to look into the types of consumer products, branding, and also packaging. Now, as you know, in chapter 1, in the overview of marketing, you learn what is actually product. So product is anything, okay, that can be offered in the market for attention, acquisition, use, or consumption that might satisfy a need or want. So there are also service element in a product, okay, which consists of activities, benefits, or satisfactions that is essentially intangible, okay, and it doesn't result in any ownership of anything. And then there is also experiences, which represents what buying the product or service will do for the customer. So these are the differences between product and also the service, which of course you know product is something that tangible meaning to say there is a physical item that is made or grown to be sold or used, right? And examples are these. While the service element of the product is intangible, which these are normally process of supplying a public need or accommodation. Okay, typically you're talking about things that you will experience through some kind of service, like when you go to a movie theater, you go and watch movie. So you don't own that particular movie, you don't own the seat at that particular cinema, but rather you just sit there for a while, okay, to get the service of what they call it, watching the movie. Okay, or when you go for to the hotel, right, and you don't own the building, you don't own the room forever, but you are actually merely using that particular accommodation for a period of time only, right? So basically there are 2 types of products, which is for consumer and also for industry. So the consumer products, we call it consumer products lah, and also industry, we call it the industrial products. For the sake of your syllabus, we're going to only cover the first type of product here, which is the consumer product, where we call them the product or services for personal consumption of individual people. Okay, while the industrial product are typically for business use. So these are the 4 types of consumer products. So don't get confused between the 2 main types of product just now. When you talk about only the consumer product, there are 4 of them, which we call them the convenience product, shopping products, specialty products, and unsought products. So these are their each and every definition. Okay, what is actually a convenient product, which normally these are inexpensive items that merits little shopping effort. And then we have a shopping products. The second one is actually a product that requires comparison shopping because it's usually more expensive and found in a fewer store. While the specialty products, all right, this is a particular item that consumers search extensively for and are reluctant to accept substitute. Most of the time, when you buy specialty products, you will be going through the whole 5 consumer decision-making process, okay, like we have learned in the previous chapter. And then there is also what we call the unsought product. Okay, unsought product. These are the products that are known to the potential buyer, or it could be known to the buyer. Okay, but the buyers, they do not really or actively seek on that particular product. Let's look at all the examples. Okay, here in this particular slides, you'll be able to see convenient products, shopping products, the specialty products, as well as the unsought products. From the picture itself, you'll be able to actually have some ideas what are there. Okay, in terms of the price, normally the convenient products are very cheap. Okay, while the shopping products could be in a medium range of price, specialty product typically very high prices, and also the unsought products could be very cheap, or it could be very expensive. Okay, so these are some of the examples, right, that you can see what are the convenience product. Like, of course, you're food, drinks, okay, some of the household chemicals like detergent, your toothbrush, toothpaste, all those things. These are the things that normally you will buy, okay, frequently, okay, with your habitual buying behavior, right? And then for the shopping products, these are things that you go for shopping, okay, like when you wanted to buy some computer or even your clothing, okay, especially your clothing, like your shoes, your handbags, okay, these are the things that you will do some comparison before making the decision to buy. While the specialty product, these are more expensive one, like when you wanted to buy an expensive car, right, a house, or special jewelries, or even like the Rolex watch, right? These are called the specialty products, which normally you don't buy it even every year, okay, only once a year or a few years in a gap, right? And when you talk about this unsought products, okay, unsought products, like in the definition just now, these are the things that perhaps people do not know about the product, or it could be products that people know but people couldn't be bothered to buy, like for example the life insurance, okay, or even a funeral package, okay. Who would never thought of like buying a pre-planned funeral when you're still alive, isn't it? You don't plan of buying your life insurance, okay. You know there is such thing, okay, or it could be some charity donations, right, or even some fundraising events, donation to some NGOs and so on, right? And normally you can also thought of buying that particular product only when there is a need, okay. It is could also include like the first aid kits, right? The first aid kits, your handy plus, bila you luka then baru you wanted to buy that particular product, or when you need the medicine, for example, okay. Sometimes it is also things that you might not wanted to buy, but rather than you need it during emergency only, okay. So in case of any unforeseen circumstances, then you start to look for it, okay, or else then you couldn't be bothered to actually buy the product. Now moving on to 4.2, which we're going to learn about branding, okay, and its benefits. So what is actually a brand? A brand is actually a name, a term, a symbol, a design, or combination of this, okay, that identifies a seller's product and differentiates them from competitors' product. So let's look at the elements of brand. Yeah, there are three elements, which is the brand name itself, like I mentioned just now. These are actually things that can be spoken, okay, when you talk about the name itself, including letters, words, and also numbers. And then there is another element, which is brand mark, whereby these are the brand element that cannot be spoken, but rather it can be seen as the logo, okay, we're using symbols, right? And then there is also a brand equity. So brand equity is actually the value of company and brand names, right? So let's look at the examples. Here, these are the brand name and also the brand mark. So from this particular left side here, you'll be able to see a words or wordings, okay, where you can actually pronounce it like this one, GAP, Gap, Forever 21, 2 times U, okay, IBM, D&G, where you have the Dolce and Gabbana, Coca-Cola. So these are the brands that you can actually speak or read, okay, or can be written in a way that people can say the name of that particular brand. While when you talk about the brand marks, okay, these are like the symbols or even the logo, which you cannot say what it is, but the moment you see that particular logo or symbol, right, you know what it is. Like this one should be, you know, this is Nike, okay, and this particular logo or brand mark is actually a Playboy brand. This one is Mercedes-Benz. Okay, I think you know all these three. Let me know if you do not know, okay? Right. So, what is actually the branding benefits? Okay, why is it important for organization to have brand name? Okay, why can't you just sell things without brand name? All right. One of the benefits of branding is actually product identification. So let's look at it. This is the most important purpose, which is if people do not know the brand name of the product, so you cannot distinguish or you cannot compare between one particular sellers to another seller's product. Okay, so that is why the brand is so important so that you'll be able to identify that particular product that you wanted to buy, which especially a brand that has high awareness. Okay, like for example, if you want to buy a smartphone and then you say, oh, I want to buy that particular smartphone, what brand is it? Okay, so you can say, oh, I want to buy Samsung, I want to buy Huawei, or I want to buy iPhone. So those are the name that you can mention. Without those names, people will not be able to understand or identify what type of phone that you wanted to buy. Okay, next is another benefit is for a repeat sales. Okay, what does it mean by repeat sales? So once people already know the brand name, okay, and people are happy or people are satisfied with that particular brand name, what happens next is that people will have the tendency to buy the brand again. Okay, and branding will help consumer identify product they wish to buy again and then avoid those that they do not want to buy. Okay, and then there is such thing what we call the brand loyalty, which a consistent preference for one brand over all others. Like I have mentioned in previous chapter, you learn about the loyalty status, right? Not some people are very loyal to certain brand, right? So many people wanted to be loyal to only certain brand. But somehow or other, because of other brands offers superior or similar or cheaper, okay, even cheaper prices, then people start to have less loyalty toward a brand, right? So as a marketer, as the one that sells the product, you would like to have people that are actually loyal to your brand. And the last benefit, okay, the third main purpose of branding is actually to facilitate new product sales. Now, what happened here is that if you already have a very good and established brand name, whenever you wanted to come up with a new product, okay, a new product that you wanted to sell, people will already recognize that particular brand name. So, in order for you to actually gain quick sales, all right, or making people trust or believe in your product, you have that perceived brand already, or people who are loyal to you just now, okay, they will know that whenever you produce a new product, they will always support you, they will always buy from you because you have a good brand, that you already have a product that you established with the brand name. Okay, so it can actually helps you to make you sell the new product faster, okay, and of course gain customers indefinitely to buy your product. For example, iPhone, right? So whenever iPhone come out with their new phone, okay, so they will still use the brand name iPhone. So people know already how good is iPhone. Therefore, whenever iPhone come out with their new models, all right, or even Apple itself, right? Whenever Apple come out with any new gadgets, all right, people will actually trust and wanted to buy the product because of the brand. Okay. So in branding strategies, right, firms will face complex branding decisions and may choose to follow a policy using either manufacturer brands, okay, private brands, or combination of both, right? So what is actually a manufacturer brand? It is actually a brand name of the manufacturer itself, okay? While private brand, also known as the private label or store brand, okay, the distributor's brand, which is a brand name owned by the wholesaler or the retailer. So this is how you can see it. The strategy can be either with brand or no brand. Of course, people don't do no branding anymore lah, because no brand, people have difficulty to identify your product just now. So with the brand, okay, you can have the manufacturer brand, and in the manufacturer's brand decision, you will have to think of either you wanted to use an individual brand, a family brand, or a combination. Okay, same goes to the private brand, whether you want to use an individual private brand, a family private brand, or a combination. Let's look at examples. Okay, this is what I already mentioned to you just now. Here, manufacturer's brand. Okay. So you can see here manufacturer's brand because of the manufacturer wanted to use their own brand, okay, like Nivea, Dettol, and also Pampers. They have their own individual manufacturer's brand, okay, but altogether all of these are actually produced by a company, okay, company. Next is the private brand. Private brand like Guardian, for example. Okay, Guardian, they do have their own shop. Okay, so Guardian also have their own shampoo. Okay, and then Watson, for example, they also have their own shop, but then they also have their own products. So these are the private brand that is being used. In fact, Guardian or even Watson, they don't actually produce this particular items. Okay, so what happened is that there is this particular company that they wanted to sell their products inside Guardian or inside Watson. So instead of using their own brand, okay, company A, for example, if I have my own company, I give my company names A and I produce the lotion. So instead of using my own brand name as lotion A, so I put that particular lotion in Guardian and sell it under Guardian's name. So that is what we call the private brand name. So I don't have to worry about promoting my brand anymore. Brand A, who wants to buy brand A? Okay, but people who already know and they realize that Guardian or Watson is an established distributor or seller, so they might want to buy this particular private brands. So what is actually individual brand? Also family brand, using brand name for different products. This is what individual brand is. While marketing several different products under the same brand name is what we call the family brand. So let's look at the example. Here, Unilever. Okay, so Unilever produces many products and they uses the individual brands for each of the product. Okay, so they have the Dove, for example, and then you have the St. Ives, and then you have the Vaseline brand, okay, Salada, and so on. Okay, so you can see each and every product that Unilever produce are using their own individual brand name. While a family brand, okay, a family brand, meaning to say this particular company uses the same brand for each of the items that they sell, okay, every product, like Maggi, for example. So Maggi, there is a Maggi instant noodle, okay, Maggi seasoning, they have Maggi coconut milk, all right, here what else do they have? Maggi premix, okay, for pasta and so on. So every single products are actually being used by the same brand name, which is Maggi. So that is what we call the family brand. So another part of the branding is the trademarks. Okay, so what is actually a trademark? Or you normally will see this particular TM letters, right? TM trademark. Okay, it stands for trademark, which is actually the exclusive right to use a brand. Okay, so many parts of a brand and associated symbols qualify for actually a trademark protection. Okay, and once you have that particular mark, it has to be continuously protected in order for you to make sure that no other people, no other company will actually use the same brand or same symbol as what you are using. Okay, and you will only have that particular right to continue to use it as long as it is being used. Alright, so some example here includes the shape such as the Jeep front grille and also the Coca-Cola bottle. Okay, even the bottle itself is actually trademarked by Coca-Cola. So other company they wanted to sell the soft drink or the carbonated drinks using the similar shape of Coca-Cola bottle is not allowed. All right, the ornamental color or design such as the decoration of the black and copper color combination for Duracell battery, okay, you cannot actually follow that. Or as simple as Nike Just Do It. Okay, Just Do It is actually a trademark for Nike brand. All right, and there are many other things that you can also give me some of the example later on. Next part is packaging and labeling. Okay, so packaging and labeling is also part of the decision that you need to make in order for you to sell your product, especially the tangible products. So packaging involves designing and producing the container or the wrapper of a product. And then you have label, which the label will actually identify the product or brands, describe attributes, and also provide information. What you can see here in the picture is actually the packaging. Okay, the packaging for you do not know what is inside here because it is just the container, okay, the container or the wrapper of the product. So without any label, okay, without any label, people will not be able to identify what is actually this. Okay, is this a drink? Is this a detergent? Is this a soap? Is this a shampoo? Okay, there are many possibility of what is actually inside this particular bottles, right? So with the label, that's why it's so important to have label, so that you'll be able to know what is actually the content of this particular packaging. Now let's look at the functions of packaging. All right, so there are 4 functions. Number 1, to contain and also protect the product. Of course, with the packaging, okay, with the packaging, you'll be able to put the water just now, okay, or to protect that particular product from any harm, or to make sure that the quality or the product can be consumed as what it should be. Okay, and then number 2 function of packaging is to promote. Okay, because nowadays people are very attracted to very beautiful packaging. Okay, so of course with some colors, with some labels that are very attractive. Okay, so people tend to actually buy things that they look have some aesthetic. Okay, and then number 3 is to facilitate storage, use, and also convenience. Of course, packaging will also help you to make sure that you will be able to store that particular product properly, okay, like in the bottle, okay, and helps you to use it for your convenience, okay. Easy for you to skip it, easy for you to consume it, easy for you to hold it, all right, and so on. And then of course the last one is to facilitate recycling. Okay, so what is important about packaging to recycle is that because of the concern of the environmental pollution and so on. Okay, so you do not want to actually harm the environment, and that is why many companies nowadays, they reduce the packaging from using, they refuse to use packaging from plastics. Okay, if it is from plastic, then it could be from a recycled plastic or a biodegradable plastics. All right, so that is to help to facilitate recycling for the packaging of that particular product. Next, I told you just now, labeling. It is so important. So there are actually 2 types of labeling: a persuasive labeling and also informational labeling. Persuasive labeling, from the word persuasive, it is very beautiful, attractive, okay, which focus on the promotional theme, and the information on that particular labeling will be secondary. While the informational labeling will help people make proper selection and lowers cognitive dissonance, because in that particular labeling there are a lot of information. Okay, these are example of a persuasive labeling. Okay, you can see it's just to attract people to actually wanted to buy because of the beautiful color and shocking colors. Same goes to this one. Okay, so typically kids, okay, they would like to see a very beautiful colors of the packaging. Okay, and if it is actually something that they don't like somehow or other, because of the packaging is beautiful, then they tend to take it or use it. All right, well, this is actually an example of informational labeling, okay, where you have so many information on that particular label. Okay, example like you have the date of making, product name, the net weight, and one of the important element is the nutrition information, okay, usage instruction, the manufacturer details, okay, ingredient list, and so on. All right, so once people see this, people will be able to know what is actually inside here, what are the ingredients, and that is when it can lowers the cognitive dissonance, especially when you talk about, let's say, milk, right, with no added sugar. So if the packaging, the label state that there is no sugar at all, okay, there is no sugar at all, so you will expect that this particular soy milk is not nice. Okay, of course nothing is nice without sugar. All right, so if it with sugar, it will be sweet and nice, but because you already read that particular label, say that there is no added sugar, everything is all natural ingredients, organic and whatsoever, so when you drink it and it doesn't taste nice or it tastes tasteless, you still consume it or you still buy it because you know that it is healthy. Okay, so called healthy. Right, so with that, we finish the first part of chapter 4, and please watch the next video for the second part of this chapter.